Hi guys, all is well. I'm just going to do a video about what I'm seeing on the market. To be honest with you, there wasn't really anything that I was looking at too amazing these past couple of days, but there's been one or two opportunities, so we'll get into it. Okay, cool. So first of all, I'm just going to do like a big top down on everything so far. So actually, we'll start on the dollar. So I did actually already do a bit of analysis on the dollar. So we actually did come out and take out that weekly high as I was expecting. I can just delete this. We did actually come in and take out that weekly high as I was expecting in here. And you can see price did actually came in and took that to the top side. We still have a sell to buy. You can see with broken structures. So now from using my fib, you can see this is our high, this is our low, pull a fib. And this is kind of our fib areas which we're playing out. So you can see prices actually came in and tested the 50%, really, really nice. But I do think we could probably come in and take out down that low and potentially head to the downside a little bit. So if we kind of carry on going through, again, nothing really too much. I do only have this just until Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, I actually need to do another day. Give me a second. Okay, cool. Lovely stuff. Okay. Wait, what? That sounds wrong. Okay, cool. So we have obviously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, I need another one for Friday, but okay, we don't need to worry about that now. So I'm going into that hourly. And well, first of all, after we took out that weekly high, we had this demand area and you can see price came up. We swept highs with this move in here. We came in and tested, I believe it was like a 15-minute. Yeah, so we had a 15-minute supply zone in there. From there, price actually just died. And you can see we had a pullback into some news supply. And again, you can see break structure and the continuations. So really and truly what I was looking for is we have a nice 30-minute supply zone which was created. You can see we have our low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So now I said I am expecting price to potentially come lower. Again, if we can potentially come in and take out the high and maybe go a bit deeper. But I said I do want to see a strong closure above this high. We haven't actually had that yet. And we did actually just take out this high and we did take out that old previous high, mitigating a little bit more into here. And you can see we had quite a strong move down. So the area I'm really looking for to see if we actually break is going to be this move down here. And I believe it's a 30-minute. Okay, cool. So yeah, this 30-minute move in here. I do want to see if we can actually break that. If price is potentially going to trade back up, if we get that confirmed break of structure, and we're looking for a pullback and then the continuations, and see if we can actually start heading and attacking this low and maybe some demand further down, which is lining up with our fib levels high time frame for a pullback. But currently, just in this point at the moment, I'm going to wait and see. Just because you have a manipulation does not mean it's a reversal in price. Yes, we did kind of reverse here. But just because you manipulate doesn't mean price is actually going to reverse in the opposite direction. So we now have two options. We can either wait for a slight pullback and then wait for break structure, and then we wait for the pullback and then continue again. So potentially going into Wednesday, going into Thursday, then you can see that Friday rollover maybe midweek if we actually do just go on a weekly really, really quick. Okay, so far, this is our high and this is our low, or this is our high. Sorry, this is our low, this is our high. So I would probably quite like to see some of the week's high get tested or taken. So even potentially now, if we do break this, come take out this low, we can potentially come fill into this 4-hourly and start heading down. But this is our end of week, or this is the beginning of the week's low that was created. So I do really want to see if we can actually start breaking that. If any of you guys know about 3-day cycle. So we have kind of just this range at the moment, but potentially not always, but sometimes it does happen when price or in the markets, usually at the beginning of the week, you start in one direction and going to the end of the week, you do kind of see like a change in directions and things. And Friday is nothing more than a day where the banks just mitigate and close orders and things. So you will tend to see more, in my opinion, high time frame demand zones or supply zones that do actually potentially get tested. So just a little note, I mean, don't take this for gospel. This is just from what I've experienced and what I've seen. So that is what I am waiting for. So I am basically just waiting for around the 12840 level to actually get broken, or if we're going to reject it and continue higher. If we do break higher, I do want to see a kind of accumulation play out, and I would like to see this demand on this supply zone potentially then get invalidated. So if not, we could potentially come up and then head down, or we would want to see kind of a break, pullback, and then continuations. So that is dollar. We will see what we do get with that. Going into AU. Okay, cool. So AU, give me 2 seconds. Okay, cool. So with AU, we have this old weekly high, I believe is on a 2-week. Yeah, oh, not even. It's going to 3. Okay, cool. Yeah, so on the 3-week, you can see we did actually have the big strong sell to buy some and potentially anticipate for that to actually get taken. But that's on a weekly time frames. So let's kind of see what we get. So we had this low, which I'm actually potentially still waiting for to get taken out. So what we can do, we can mark that off. And this is going to be our first low target for me, just because we do have imbalance. This is a low, and we never really kind of took anything from this point as prices going higher. So I would have liked to have seen a move through that low, but we can still actually use that as that low. But what I am actually going to use just for our target for the time being is this low right here. So if any of you guys know about wick lows, you know that 90% of the time they get taken out. You can see we have a wick low that gets taken, wick low that gets taken. This is a wick, this gets taken. So I am potentially just anticipating for price to actually come in and take out that low, going into Friday, potentially get that Friday rollover. That was on a 3-day. Going into a day, again, nothing really too amazing, which I am looking for. Really and truly, we are just waiting to see if this low does actually get broken. We did have a area of demand here, which did get invalidated. And this was a breaker structure as well. So we can just quickly label that. Cool, so we had supply flip invalidation. So when demand gets invalidated, we want to see a test of supply. Yes, technically, this whole area is our supply zone, but I was really kind of waiting to see if price was going to potentially come in and trade a little bit higher. We didn't. It happens, it is what it is. And as soon as we kind of took out this previous week's high, you can see we pretty much just died off from this point. So potential shorts are in play. Higher time frame anyway. Going dropping it down to lower time frame AU, we can see we had this small demand which was created, and from this small demand you can see we did actually kind of have a bit of a shift in momentum. I am also keeping my eye on this high because you can see this is market closure, this is our high, and we do have a lot of resting liquidity in and around these areas. We actually do have some liquidity resting in here, and this is an old high as well. I was firstly looking to see if price could have pulled back somewhat into this 4-hourly area, but again, we didn't do that, and again, that is what that is. So what we can do now is I'm potentially, or not potentially, I am just going to map out this high, because I know that could potentially be a point for price to actually potentially take out just as a target. Whether we're going to get that right now, I don't know. I potentially think we could kind of flush back down, but if we keep going down in the time frames, you can see, let's actually go. So, okay, we've got this 3-hourly zone. Did price test that? Okay, price just missed this zone. So drop it to 2-hour. I do like to just go down on the time frames quickly just to kind of see what we do get. I do believe there was a 45-minute zone I was looking at. Okay, cool. So we do have a smaller 45-minute zone. which price could come into. And the only reason why I have these mapped out is because this is the last point where price could potentially react from before actually doing something, or unless it's just going to break through. So really what I am going to be waiting for now, keep dropping it down lower time frames, is to see if we are actually going to break any of these lows, or if we are going to actually potentially start pushing a bit higher. There was a 5-minute zone I was waiting for in here, because you can see price had actually broken structures. Then you can see we had that one more raid. You can see this was a 850 London high. You can see all of these. This is Asian high, London, New York, and then he died. So for me, this was the true kind of breaker structure. So what I was looking for to see if we were actually going to get a pullback. I did have an order in here. It didn't actually get met. So we had demand in here, which you can see actually caused some sort of break of significant structure, lower time frame. And when we invalidated that, I was looking to see if price did want to pull back one more time. I know that did, I believe, line up with my fib quite nice. Yep, so I was waiting for this zone to get taken or tested, but we didn't get that, and price really just rolled. So this is why I potentially think we could kind of get a lot of this taken out, depending on what does want to happen. For the time being, though, unless we don't, or unless we do test anything a little bit lower, I'm going to wait to see if zones like these can potentially get tested. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to map out these highs. Even though they're not equal highs, they are relatively somewhat equal highs for liquidity to kind of be resting above. And you can see we had quite a nice supply zone here, which price is reacting from. So I do want to see if we can maybe come back up into this supply zone. So it's going to be the simple case of looking for potential tests of demand and then continuations to the upside, because we did actually give a momentum shift. We actually validated some supplies in here as well. So I am looking for the shorts and to see if we can go long finishing the rest of the week. If not, see if we can roll over if we do start breaking structures and invalidate demand in here. I'm just going to wait for a pullback and then potentially see if we can get that continuation to the downside. But I don't think price is ready to do that just yet. I could be wrong and it could die, but I just don't maybe see that just yet. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. EURGBP. EURGBP, if you guys have seen my previous videos on these, we took out an old high way back. We took out loads of liquidity from this point, and from then price has really kind of just died off and continued. So I do potentially want to see if we could actually come back in and test these areas. We do got a 30-minute zone in here as well, but so far as a really quick breakdown, we had all these highs taken. There was a really nice opportunity in here. I missed it. I was a little bit gutted, but it is what it is. We had this old high taken out going into London. You can see 8 a.m. London open price really just died from this point. So when we died off, price created more resting liquidity. You can see this is also your impulse correction, impulse again. This was nothing more than a manipulation. Again, you can see we had Asian highs, Asian lows, which then got taken. Asian highs got taken with London open. You can see 8:20 in the morning, GMT. We had this London high and price really give us a confirmed breaker structure. So I believe this was an interest rate decision. You can see big manipulation and prices just continued. I was thinking we were going to get a little bit of down move from this area. We haven't yet so far, but that doesn't mean that that can't happen. We have this single wick low you can see going into 230, which I do want to see if that can get tested. But we did trade into, what did we trade into? Okay, cool. So we traded into a 4-hourly zone, and then from that 4-hourly zone, from that 1 a.m., You can see we had the mitigations, and there was a 1 minute move in here. We had mitigations, but we actually did also take out and sweep that low. And then after that, we had a shift in momentum, and price actually really kind of started to continue. So this is just in some kind of long consolidation at the moment. We are actually breaking down things. There was a really nice opportunity that I caught this morning of a 2 minute, and you can see price came down. I did actually take this out a little bit early, but it did drop a decent amount. So 46 pips, if you've got good risk management, 46 pips can still make you some decent risk to rewards. But euro pound, I do want to see what we're going to do from this point. Are we going to run it one more time, then run it one more time, or run it officially, then start breaking down, because we have so many lows in here, which I would quite like to see get tested. There was a move on an 8 minute down here, which I was going to look to see if price was going to test, but we didn't. So really and truly, I could see price going either way. If we start on, we go on the 4 hourly, I could see price maybe having one more run and mitigations and then continuations, or whether we're going to run the lows first, mitigate one more time, and then continue higher. So that is really what I'm going to be waiting for. This week, nothing that amazing has happened, but I will let everyone know and keep everyone updated if I do see anything interesting. I am only looking at these two just for the time being. But if you guys want me to look at any pairs, please let me know and just give me a message and I shall do so. I hope you guys have had a good trade week. Hope you guys have a good trading day tomorrow, and we'll catch up over the weekend. All right, guys. Bye.